I'm ready to go to bed. Hi, everybody. Hello. So, as you can see, I'm home. I don't know why YouTube. Well, I guess I'm not going to say I don't know why. YouTube lets you do top chat now and live chat. They let you select. My hair is looking rough. In the past few days, all I did was put on my little bonnet thing. I didn't even put my little do-rag thing on because I was like, that's too much work. And my head is already effed up from the humidity and the water that I was not supposed to get on it or in it. Anyway, I'm home. I'm glad to be home. Very much so glad to be home. I kind of sort of Patricked our last 10 to 15. Hey, D. I kind of sort of Patricked our last like 10 to 15 minutes together. Like, I'm the type of person, like, if you want somebody to like constantly tell you how right you are or whatever, like, that's not me. That's never been me. I don't want people like that in my life. Like, I don't mind it, but like, if I'm wrong, I want somebody to tell me that I'm wrong. And when my friend, like, I can acknowledge where like you're right and I can acknowledge where you're wrong. And so in our last Airbnb, we ain't have no AC, and my friend was going on and on and on about blah blah blah. Thank you. He was going on and on and on about blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, well, they were wrong for that, but also you were wrong in this, and also you weren't helping the situation by doing the things that you were doing. You were actually actively making it worse for ourselves. And so it's just like, I'm not saying give them 5 stars, but like also you need to take accountability for the things that you need to take accountability for. And I remember, like, even in high school, like, I would have friends who'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this teacher like did whatever because I was eating in class today." And I'm like, "Girl, well, like, you're not supposed to eat in his class. So just because you get away with it yesterday and the day before, and like just because you've been getting away with it doesn't mean that that's always going to be the case. Like, you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. So why are you shocked when there's a consequence? Like, I don't get it. I do get it. Like, I get that people are like that. I also get that I can be like a rule follower. Like, when we were on the cruise, they were like, do not stand up and take pictures. It only took one woman to stand up and take pictures for everybody to be standing up and taking pictures. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if any of y'all fall out of this boat, I hope them pictures was worth it. Nobody fell out though. So it's fine. See, while I'm putting this, I'm using the Pride Tarot because it's Pride Month. I'm decompressing and venting as I like separate these, and then then I'll be good. So we were in Michigan for most of the trip. We spent Thursday night and the beginning. Yeah, we spent Thursday night and the beginning of today in Milwaukee. We went to the Harley Davidson Museum. I got my little souvenirs. And my friend was like, what about parking? What about this? What about that? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to spend the last of my money on what I want to spend my money on. And right now, I want 4 pairs of dice and a shot glass. But I also like need to know. So these are the dice I got. So these all have like little Harleys on them. There you go. And the black ones, the one is a Harley, but it's like regular 2, 3, 4. I thought these were 25 cents. So I'm gonna do basically the same thing. I'm gonna roll 4 dice and then 3 dice and then 2, then 1. And whatever number comes out, that's gonna be the major that I go for. And we're just gonna see what happens. Cause But anyway, I was like, and then he does this thing where it's a very human thing, but he's like, yeah, but like you did this wrong. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, like, you're talking about something that isn't even relevant, right? Like, I feel like when I talk to somebody about something, it may come across a certain way, but like, I very, very seldomly like play blame games. Like, if I'm saying something to anybody, it's like I'm not saying this to like blame you for whatever, for you to then retaliate against me, but like, this is the situation that we're talking about. This is how you contributed to the situation. Like, facts are facts. It just is what it is. Like, that's what you did and it wasn't helpful. I'm not trying to like blame you or whatever, but I'm like, if you're gonna critique somebody, like, be fair. I don't know. Anyway, overall, I enjoyed it. We cleared things up. This might be the last time I see them in the States, which I mean gives me a reason to go, and it gives me a reason to go to the UK. So I am all for that. Also, next time I go to Michigan, I want to hit up lighthouses. I want to do a lighthouse tour and just like see all the different lighthouses in Michigan. I think that'd be cute. But yeah, we stopped by Chicago. I didn't know that Chicago was home to like the world's largest Starbucks. There were like 4 floors in there. I was like, what? Um, and then the third floor. One of the floors was experiential coffee, and they have coffees from like all over the world there, all like from Starbucks all over the world. And I read like experimental coffee, so I was expecting to like go up there and get like a weird flavor or something that like isn't released yet, but it was experiential. And then on the 4th floor, they had like cocktails. I was like, "What? Alcohol in a Starbucks? Sign me up!" I feel like I'm coming into an appreciation for alcohol, um, which I am all for, honestly. I like to drink. I don't do it frequently. And I'm also not the type, like, I don't drink to get drunk. I just like drinking. Oh, oh. Knight of Pentacles. Oh, okay. So the Page of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. And below, I guess, the Page of Swords was the Messenger, the Hierophant, Justice in the World. The Messenger, Justice in the World. And then the Knight of Pentacles is here. This is one of my favorite Knight of Pentacles cards just because it's so watery. And so there is an element of emotion here or an element of connectivity, but it's it's grounded in a way where like it's not going to go anywhere. Clorinda, I'm home. Welcome back to the waveless, seagull-less, beachless home. This Knight of Pentacles, it's interesting because I'm definitely coming back from this vacation and like I need to get my life. It's not get my life together so much as it's like I need to start doing the things, and I'm ready to do everything. Every area and facet of my life. I'm gonna like sleep for like 48 hours, but on Monday, on Monday, I don't know because I'm ready. I guess. Propless. Wait, what? Poopless. Poopless. Wait, what? I don't know. I don't even know where I put my readers. It's like I thought I put them in here. I guess I have these. These are way too strong. Poopless. What? Oh, with the seagulls, because of the seagulls. Okay, gotcha. We have other birds. I was thinking about because my feet hurt from all the walking I've been doing and stuff. I was thinking about actually doing a weekly release when I came back. I might do it tomorrow. And on the way, when we were in Wisconsin, we were by a lake and they wanted to get out for a little bit. I'm like, I'm gonna sit in the car because that was before we went to the Harley Davidson Museum, and just standing in the Airbnb, my feet were hurting. So I was like, I'm gonna sit now so I'll have the strength to walk through the museum later. And there was a red-winged blackbird. There was another red-winged blackbird. And my friend was like, "Oh, look at that bird. It's so like interesting." I was like, "Oh, that's the red-winged blackbird. We saw one of those at the Arboretum." And that's like my weekly release sort of animal now. Red-winged blackbirds mean weekly release. And last time I did the weekly release, I didn't even wear my red-winged blackbird shirt. So no, I'm fine, Clorinda. It was just like earlier. It was like I'm ready to return to my more sedentary lifestyle. I'm going to bring more action or more movement to my life, but like, gradually. This is interesting. So with this, because it's the messenger justice in the world, this is extremely interesting to get at the bottom of the deck. These both of this is Taurus and Libra and Saturn. So Venus and Saturn. Venus is in Cancer now. Saturn is in Aquarius. So they're in conjuncting. Saturn's retrograde. I don't think Venus is gonna retrograde again. She might. I don't know. But it feels like, so here's this messenger, right? It feels like justice is bringing two elements together. And then this world is the space where they kind of sort of coexist. And that's why this Knight of Pentacles is so interesting. With it being so watery, it's like the energy of a Knight of Cups, but if the Knight of Cups, I don't have the words. It's a mixture of the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. It's like the Knight of Pentacles, but in a Knight of Cups way. It's like a Knight of Cups with the endurance, the stamina, the determination of the Knight of Pentacles. And so it carries Knight of Pentacles energy, but in a very like watery environment. And I think it's because it's almost about like readjusting the space. Or it's like earth sign analytics, earth sign being able to make something work, but it's something that accommodates like multiple people. And so that's like the watery connective element in it. It's like it almost feels like it's like it changes the world to be a space where like things can sort of mutually exist. Because it feels like there's something very like magnetic about these two. And if you bring them any closer, then it's like they'll naturally repel for whatever reason. And so that's why the steady hands of justice are sort of pushing that in. And she's wearing the scales around her neck like a yoke, right? So shout out to the year of the ox. The golden bull. So when we were in the Harley Davidson museum, I was like, oh, let me see, like I made it down to like the 80s, the 70s, and then the 80s. And I was like, well, let me see like what entry there is for the year 1993, if there is one. And there was. And I was like, why is this me? I was like, why is this me? It's this one. So this is the one that was in 1993. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. You see like that cow print, right? So the placard said, the unusual appearance of this bike has earned it a cult following. Riders have dubbed it the Cow Glide or Moo Glide, and period advertisements poke gentle fun at its bovine looks. A popular tagline declared the nostalgia tends to mosey. The motor company only made 2,700 cow glides, making it relatively rare. Another reason behind its cult status. I never wanted a motorcycle. I've never been interested in Harleys at all until I went to the Harley Davidson Museum in Milwaukee. And like the Harley Davidson as a company, it's interesting, but it's so fascinating. The tenacity, like it started in the like early 1900s, right? I think by like 1912, 1913, 1914, things were like actually picking up. Let me read these real quick. Sorry, Clarenda. What'd you say? What? Yeah, they still haven't fixed your PayPal. And so it's like they went through the Great Depression, they went through like world wars, they went through like the birth and adaptation and like mass sort of incorporation of like automobiles. And it's like every step along the way, it's like they've had to pivot, they've had to adjust. It's like, well, what can we do with our marketing? Also, on like their board of directors, when they started up, was a dealer, and like it talked a dealership, a dealer from a dealership, And it talked about how it's like, they had a relationship with their customers, they had a relationship with the dealerships, how they came up with the hog, right? The, I guess, Harley Davidson owners G Guild, I don't know. Also, like, there were some women who like were bikers, and then they had like the, and I was like, "Ooh, girl, if I celebrated Halloween, I would go as because this one of them, like, she had a road runner. I was like, oh, that's cute. And it talked about women, and there was this one woman and daughter pair. It was like they took a Harley across the country, and she was like, at one point they was in the desert, and they have no food for like 2 days, and she had to like get the inner tube of one of the wheels fixed, and somebody was like, "Oh, you're such a brave woman," and she was like, whatever. Like, I'm just living my life. Like, this is who I am, right? I'm not brave. I'm just me. And it was like the women, it was how they pivoted, it was all this stuff. I'm like, yes, like, I love the feel of this. Like, come through. I And then I saw the Moo Glide for 1993. I was like, yeah, see, that's all the Taurus in me. Tends to mosey. That's gonna be on my epitaph. Tended to mosey, or moseying into heaven, or whatever. Moseying in the fields of Elysium, chewing on that green Elysian grass. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, see, this was one of them. I was like, oh, that's pretty cute. It had the Road Runner on it. Anyway, I didn't expect to enjoy the Harley Davidson Museum as much as I did, but their original equipment manufacturers, they're into defense. Yeah, I saw that they in World War II they kind of sort of paused the civilian things to make more other things. So they had like battle bikes and stuff. I was like, what? I didn't know people were driving Harleys on the battlefield. And they also made like parts for tanks or whatever. Um, but yeah, and how they became a. Oh wow, it was Clorinda. I didn't expect to feel like that. I don't know why I'm bringing up Harleys, but I guess maybe it's that sort of determination. Um, but under this is the Page of Swords. What's with the Page of Swords? Of course she is. Something is happening. So behind the Page of Swords is the Empress. This Empress is giving very Gaia, giving very goddess, giving very divine feminine energy. And it's like there's this connection between divine feminine energy and us in a way that we're being able to experience, receive, understand things in a new way that don't necessarily fit old narratives, paradigms, what have you. And it's our cooperation with her and our openness to the information that she has to share that really sort of facilitates this energy in a way that we can move forward collectively in a more interconnected way. So that's gorgeous. I'm like, wait, okay. All right, anyway, I need my other glasses. Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like, what? Also, it talked about like there was a parade or something, and there was a cop on a Harley, because they talked about how police forces were one of the customer bases, uh, people that they sold Harleys to. And there was a parade, and a lion broke loose, and there was like a police officer on a Harley who like shot the lion with the gun and was like using his Harley to like not get eaten. And it was like, yeah. And then, did I take a picture of that? It was like, no, I didn't take a picture of that one. It was like, we need more lion tamers or something. But there was this other one. I took a picture of this one. Maybe because it said, get your man. The only force he respects. I don't know. It was funny. But also, though, it made me think of like, in addition to like pivoting and stuff like that, like, it made me think of marketing. And especially in this space where it's like, for a lot of like travel, now people are like they're getting automobiles. So like what the Harley could do is like now there's something where it's like more and you don't need a passenger car or a sidecar. There was one like it was like a double seater and it had a sidecar. I was like, that's cute. I kind of want a Harley now. Never thought I would have wanted a Harley. It's fine. I'm inspired. But it was like, so that's when they started marketing more towards like, leisurely or like a lot of things. Like you can use it off road. They also like were one of the sponsors or like, I guess when they first started doing not only races where they would do like a cash prize, but also when they started having records, like, fastest track from here to there or whatever. And it was like some of them things was old and going like 80 miles per hour. I was like, what? They was going that fast that long ago? I thought everything was going like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20. So it's funny that you ask. So I looked there, you have a wall of like engines, and my favorite engine was, let me see if I can find it. I tried to like take a picture of a both of take a picture of a bunch of them. My favorite engine is in this selection, and I tried to like not make it dead center, but something about this one right here, I really like. Even though I don't know if I would want like a black and blue Harley. I don't know. They had like a little thing where you could design one, but I didn't do that. I was like, okay, okay, all right. So yeah, that happened today. I initially I was like, because they were talking about things that we could do in Milwaukee. I was like, I don't really care about Harleys, so I'm gonna skip. And then my one friend, he was like, well, she really wanted to do it. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to pay for that, but because the Airbnb got effed up, we got half of it refunded, and I have my student ID, so I was able to get a discount. Is it dishonest? Don't come for me. Anyway, she was like, I just need to see something that says student on it. I was like, well, I carry my student ID with me still. And I really enjoyed it. Oh, Ace of Pentacles? Oh. Okay. I was like, okay, so the divine is really popping out pentacles. So here's the Ace of Pentacles being presented something new. What's interesting about this card is that there are three flowers. I want to say lilies. They might not be that have already blossomed, and there's one that hasn't yet blossomed that rises above it. So there's an energy here of a sort of potential. And the bottom of the deck was the devil. I'm like, ew. Oh my gosh. So it's the lovers, the Eight of Cups, and the devil was the bottom three cards. Here's the lovers tied up. Here are the lovers free. Between them is the Eight of Cups. It feels like we have to backtrack a little bit. Right? It feels like maybe there was a situation that we walked away from more bound than we knew. It's like how you can experience a bad partner or a series of bad partners that discolor your view of like love or relationships or men or women or these type of people or those types of people or just everybody in general. And so it's like you walk away from this relationship with a lot of like scars, burdens, sort of like trauma responses, to the point where like even though you're not in that situation anymore, it's like you carry a bit of that energy with you. And so it's almost like to free ourselves of that, there has to be a little bit of tracing things back. And under that is the Four of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the Sun, with the Queen of Pentacles behind the Sun. I feel like there's going to be a decision. There's going to be a moment where you start to realize how your boundaries, it's like how healthy your boundaries aren't. or how your boundaries kind of sort of keep you stuck or stagnant, how your expectations keep you experiencing the same thing or keep you from experiencing better. Because it feels like here's the Four of Wands and the Sun, but in between, there's this choice to sort of like let things go, to experience new. Okay. Is this what we're doing today? I guess. I don't know. That's you right now. So confused. Well, I don't know if anything's gonna come out, but we'll see. I'll give it 5 more shuffles. If nothing comes out, then I'll roll the dice. That's 1. It is 5. It feels like though, like with that 8 of Cups, it feels like it's the perfect time. We're in a retrograde season in the eclipse tunnel. Like we're between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse with Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, and Mercury retrograde. So because it feels like for some reason it's like you have to go back to the past to figure out why the present is the way it is. Because it's like we walked away from something before we fully understood how or why it impacted and influenced us in a way that, like, if just continuing to move forward, it's like we'll never see it. So it's not necessarily to like, I mean, if the past isn't great for everybody, so if it's like you don't necessarily have to go all the way back, because I feel like if you ask, it can be sort of highlighted, illuminated to you. You'll be given the answer potentially. Sometimes I just be like, how did this start happening, or why does this happen? And then instantly it's like, oh, it's because of this, this, and that. I'm like, oh. And I was already feeling some type of way about this before. Anyway. Yeah. 5, 4, 4, 3. This is 9 plus 7 is 16, right? 3, 7, 11, 16. Yeah. So I'm going to look before and after the tower. What does the tower look like in this deck? Where did my other glasses go? Hello? I'm like filling myself up and I don't feel them. I don't even remember what the tower looks like in this deck. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So outside there's the 10 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. Between like it was the 2 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. The 2 of Cups and the 7 of Cups around the tower. Hold on, let me give these a shuffle. I read turkey. You're eating turkey bacon. I just had turkey bacon when I went to get my hair done. It was so good. I was like, wow, this is good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. And my cousin was like, yeah, you got to get it from Sam's Club. Sam's Club has the good turkey bacon. Okay. So next, 525, 255. That's 12. 12 is the Hanged Man. Let's see. Is this card in the deck? Hello? Okay. So the Hangman is the Ace of Wands with the Empress outside, the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords inside. Oh gosh, what is this? What is? Ooh, okay. Yeah. We don't have a Sam's Club here. We have a Walmart. So. Also, my light isn't doing that color change thing, which is really nice. So the Two of Cups and the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. Five. 3 and 1 is 4. We'll put this one up here. So there's a 3-2-1 right now. 4 is the Emperor. So let's see. Oh, they do? Okay. I'll have to check it out. The Emperor is interesting because on the way back. Oh, here's the Emperor. The Emperor is coming out with the Pride card and the Ten of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands are on the side. Ooh. Okay. Well, on the way back, I was thinking about how, like, on the and I watched back the last video that I did, and it completely skipped when I was talking about. I was like, if there are any other people who like read cards, or if you just talk to people, then you notice when blah 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 blah. My general policy is if YouTube cuts out, if it buffers, if you can't hear what I said for whatever reason, then it wasn't meant to be heard. So I guess I'm not gonna repeat it. But so why did I even mention it, right? So I kind of talked about how, like, being on the water, it felt like even though the earth is like 70% water, the water feels like it holds a different consciousness, or it felt like it held a different consciousness. Also, I had never been that close to water really before. I'm much more of a water Pisces now. I used to be the type of person who's like, I'm a Pisces, but I don't like water. So if you tell me, oh, um, yeah, yeah, because like that's what I thought. Because I don't remember, like, you didn't say anything about it buffering or anything. Like, no one said anything about it buffering, but when I watched it back, it was just like gone. I was like, okay. um, but it felt different. And so on the way back, I was like, well, there's like usually I can like a lot of the energies that I feel more feminine in nature. But now it feels like there's some like masculine, I guess, energy or divine masculine energy that I'm not supposed to, but that I can sort of look for. And the Emperor lately is coming out in that energy of like wanting to secede something. Is that wanting to leave something to the next generation of whoever will inherit it? Let's just keep it nice and simple. But yeah, it's like he's wanting to hand it over. He's wanting to start a new cycle. Empress is in the same energy, but she's like wanting to make sure, like she's just not going to give it over to anybody. Um, and so this Ten of Wands with this, it feels like around the Emperor. 1 second. It feels like there's been a lot of lessons in like nearly every area of life. And it feels like there's like in this deck especially like it's this energy of like why is everything so hard? And then the divine is like it's this hard for a reason. Like you can do this. It is within you to do this. And after you do it, you can help other people with it. And the card that came out is the 6 of Cups. And in the 6 of Cups there's this dude with the ice cream. And it feels like an energy that like you would know. Like if you met it, you would remember it. If you met it, it would feel nostalgic. Like if you it's like one of those people that you feel like you've like seen before, but I guess it's more an energy than a person. And the bottom of the deck is the 4 of Coins, 4 of Pentacles. I don't like the 4. This is the creepiest looking 4 of Pentacles ever. It feels like there was something given to you. This card is you. It feels like something was given to you, but along the way you forgot it. What immediately comes to mind is a friend is someone who sings the song of our heart when we forget the lyrics. And so it's like you've forgotten the lyrics. So this is a journey. It's almost like a journey of remembrance, right? It almost feels like in a certain set of circumstances, there are things that you like remember about yourself or things that you come in like ways of being that you come into. And um it reminds me of where was it? I just had it. Samyaza. It reminds me of that thing. It's like where when Penamue, after everything went down, first Penamue recorded our names after we died to make us like angels. It's almost like so there's something that we carry over more consciously from life to life, maybe. But then after things went south, it was like that was struck. And so like, what hath been wrought on the fiery hilltop, the statues of men whose names the angels forgot. It's like, well, first Penamues is making sure we like keep the name, then Penamue is like, I don't know them. And then it was this energy of like in us remembering our names. This is the energy of remembering our names. But it's not remembering a name like, oh, like my original name was Zachary. I don't know. But it's like the like back in the olden days when a name meant something. This is you discovering who you are in all of these different areas of life that like like this is your name. This is you remembering your name, right? It's like Khaleesi. She was like queen of this and I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but there was a dog named Khaleesi in the campgrounds. She was a Siberian husky. She was cute. It's like if you're the like if this name means bringer of rain, for example, then one of your tasks, one of the things that you're going to do is to bring rain. And then in that, it's like, boom, you check off the red. Okay, I'm not going to say anymore because the moon is at the bottom. The moon is at, I just like, I set the cards down. I see the moon. It's different for everybody. In navigating these challenges in life, we discover more and more and more of who we truly are. And maybe there is a period in time where we're not being our true authentic selves because of life, because we're human, because we got choice and will, and like, we only understand what we understand in the moment. But in all of that, somewhere is the truth of who we are. And again, it's like in the old names, it's like it's an action, it's a thing, it's a title. It's not a title, but it's like what you're called because of what you did. This is the space of doing, and it makes sense. That's how masculine energy hands things off, because masculine energy, typically yang, typically doing something. So what is the empress about then? I don't know. One who heals, smiling. Yeah, see, there you go. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's so warm, it's so warm. There are no majors here besides the pride card, which is interesting. Oh girl, who was this? Bottom of the deck is the King of Cups. The Six of Swords and the Tower came out. The Six of Pentacles is behind this King of Cups. Is that Bianca Del Rio? Is that Bob the Drag Queen? Sorry. So the King of Cups in this deck, it's like the water that it's his mind. And so if his mind is restless, the waters will be choppy and it'll make the Six of Swords trip a lot more difficult. But if his mind is at peace, then it'll be smooth sailing. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's how we navigate through these tower moments that is this energy. And I guess it's the King of Cups because it's the watery side of masculine energy. I don't know. I don't know. Oof, I missed it. I already shuffled it away. Sorry, D. But if you caught it, then it's for you. Oh, that did not shuffle. There we go. Oh my gosh. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck again. Six of Pentacles behind the King of Cups again. But this time, ooh, the Three of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Devil, and Judgment. I don't know. Something about the company you keep instantly came to mind. Oh, you saw a ship on the card. Okay, yeah. Here we go. There's opportunity here in a space where it doesn't need to be for energies to seep in a way that I don't want to say they should. It's like things would be easier if we were more connected. The Ten of Swords is a disconnection between the head and the heart, the mind and the body. In this space of internal disconnection, that's where this energy can come in and it can start to do stuff. But again, it feels like that gap shouldn't necessarily be there. So this energy, it's like it gets into places and spaces that it shouldn't necessarily have access to. And with all those swords around the moon, it's like it pokes and it prods for insecurity. And so maybe there are spaces where this King of Cups is supposed to find solace, solitude, celebration, peace of mind, acceptance, and love, but he doesn't. If that light keeps doing that, I might just turn it off. Maybe I won't. And then judgment is here. Maybe it's this judgment that's like the company you keep. Because it's not necessarily that the company that you keep says something about you. It's more like the company that you keep informs your view of the world. It is the basis it's the basis for your judgment. And so it's like devil energy plays on like localized, isolated, incidental situations that aren't necessarily the truth, but it gets you to see it as a more universal truth because of this disconnection between the head and the heart, the mind and the body, the self and the collective, the I and the you, the I and me and the I and you, right? And so it's like it wedges things apart in spaces where it shouldn't be able to do that naturally. And it's just something else for, oops, who was this? The King of Wands just lit out. And the King of Wands is a woman in this deck. King of Wands, King of Cups. There's a certain temperance here. This is internal. This is external. This is inside the mind of the King of Cups. This is the King of Wands in the expressive way, expressing itself in the way that it desires and not conforming, right? But it's not so far into the energy of non-confirmation that it separates itself from spaces that are meant for it, if that makes any sense. Where it can't accept love, a compliment, the finer, the better, the better feeling things in life because of what it's experienced. And that's the thing about like the company. It's not like necessarily how it's a reflection on you. It's more like how it creates your view of the world. And I just saw on somebody shared it like yesterday. It's like, like leave your hometown, leave your comfort zone, because it's like it's then that you discover how much of your worldview is sort of inherited or programmed into you by association of where you've been. And it may be things that you would never even think to question. So last one, number 5, the Hierophant. 3215. That's interesting. This is the messenger in this deck. Oh, I'm pulling it from the top now, I guess. It's so warm in this room. 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 Warm in this room. Ooh. So I guess this is going to be a little bit of a full circle moment. So the messenger is still with the Four of Cups, or still with the Knight of Pentacles. Outside, it's the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Queen of Cups, Seven of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the King of Wands, the Star. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Star is the two energies out for the last one. Okay. Where are my glasses? Okay, Corinda. You and yours. Oh, like South Carolina? I think we met somebody. They were on a trip across the country or whatever. I think they said they started in South Carolina. They were in Michigan when we saw them. Um, Also, what was interesting, so while we were on the boat tour of Pictured Rocks, there was a dude who was like, "Oh, I knew it was going to be like this. I knew it was going to be like that because I have my own boat. Like this is what I do." And he was like, "It's going to rain, so I'm going to head down below deck." And then, certainly enough, it rained. Now, you don't have to have a boat to know that it's going to rain, but there was something about, I don't know why this is coming here, but there was something about him almost being like a hierophant emperor combination in a certain area. I feel like you would think that he would be a hierophant energy, but he's actually an emperor energy, and they're different. It's like the hierophant puts on the costume of being, and the emperor is. The emperor is what the hierophant wishes to be, but the hierophant can't go about it in the way that the emperor goes about it, so he goes about it in his own way. Both of them have nations and kingdoms. Both of them have people that they can pit against other people or blah 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 whatever, right? So it did feel like this five was sort of opposing this six, but I think this five might be opposing this one. I'm like, okay, all right, well, okay, yeah. The five is opposing the one. And 15 is devil energy, so that's not surprising. The King of Wands is at the bottom with the Page of Cups under it and the Ace of Cups under that. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, King of Wands with this Four of Pentacles under that. The King of Wands, it's carrying that energy of like a an ego under control, basically. With the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups, it's almost a challenge for the King of Wands because King of Wands energy can be so used to being self focused. Like it includes others, but it includes others in its vision for what it wants, right? It doesn't necessarily accommodate for uh, a different vision. The King of Wands holds his own vision or her own vision, their own vision. The King of Wands holds their own vision. But there's something about, again, it's that energy of like getting outside of your comfort zone, getting outside of everything that you know for you to experience that the world is different. And that's why this fish is like trying to clean that cat's third eye, I guess. It's like this is how we would see the fish interacting with the cat, but like this is what's actually happening. It's like it's receiving all this like cosmic, whew, like fluffy, remember who you are, Simba type of energy. I'm like, what is this? It's too hot for this. I'm too warm for this, please. You got this, D. See, this is like that shadowy side of high refined energy that I don't like. So we start with, if we look at these like 3, 2, 1, 5, there's Empress, High Priestess, Magician. The Magician and the Hierophant are squaring off. I'm not surprised that Hierophant and Magician energy are in a space of conflict because It's like, it's basically like if you grow up as a free spirit and if you go to like art school. Not that there's anything wrong with art school, but sometimes in art school, it's like they can put so many filters on your own creativity that the things that you're creating, it's like it is your creation, but it's under this system. And it's like, well, if you would ditch the rules, you would make the thing that is truly a more full expression of you. And it's like you continuously express and express and express and express and express, but you never feel like it's like if you're an artistic person and you create, but your creations like feel empty for some reason. And it's like because there are all of these things within you that you're not pouring into your work type of energy. That's why the magician who like does things in their own way can sometimes square off against a set traditional foundational sort of way of doing things. And that's why it's like we have the Two of Cups and the Seven of Cups. We have the Ace of Pentacles, but the Eight of Swords. It's like there is this so much is already present, but it's like it's not with the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Swords, it's not really being seen. Like we have a 1-2 and then a 7-8, right? Okay, light work, girl. Yes, cycle through those colors. I don't want you to be a solid, consistent, just like white. I was kidding. Don't do that, please. Oh, well, now it's doing it. Okay. The path of the magician is more difficult. Exactly, D. The path of the magician is more difficult because it leads you in a space of greater self discovery, lesser restrained self discovery. It's almost a little bit of a deeper self discovery. And then the process of the Hierophant, it's the Knight of Pentacles and the Star. It's an energy like it would be so easy to feel like we're drowning in this energy. But we don the armor of the Hierophant. We do things the way that the Hierophant tells us to for long enough to eventually get our big break, right? This is the person who works like so many hours because they're taught that or told that like, hard work pays off, blah, 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 whatever. And it's not that it doesn't. This is like a dream that the Hierophant sells you to keep you sort of playing the game. And it's like this mermaid will never reach the sun. It's the space of it's a promise that can't be fulfilled, but we hold on to the promise. And it reminds me of like when I talked about that one TikTok or whatever, and it was like somebody was like, "Why do people get so defensive over like when other people attack companies?" And then someone else was like, companies sell us dreams, sell us visions, sell us goals that we identify with to the point where if someone attacks the company, now we feel like they're attacking us because of what we sort of idealize, what they've sold to us. And I guess, talking about Harley Davidson and how they sort of rebranded to sort of keep themselves relevant in a space where automobiles were like dominating. It's like, yeah, but you can't go off-roading in your car. You like it found it like it kept creating new spaces. They kept creating new spaces to exist in. Why am I talking about that? Why did that come at? I don't know. I think that train of thought just left. This is learning to swim without all of this gear. That's why this path is inherently more difficult because this it establishes for itself. This follows suit. And there's that 32 again. 32s and 23s. I've been seeing them like crazy. Whew. Yeah, that's interesting. And then the Four of Pentacles is right here. I don't like this Four of Pentacles card. It just looks so creepy. It just looks so creepy. Here's the Four of Pentacles in the Sun. It's like Hierophant energy, old shadowy Hierophant energy. Hashtag not all Hierophants. Old shadowy Hierophant energy puts us in this comparative system where we trade away, give away, bargain away all that makes us unique and beautiful and different and spectacular. I mean, like, look at this, right? We have the Sun and then the Pride card. Like, oh, ew. But this old Four of Pentacles Hierophant energy gets us to like trade it all away for something of lesser value that is marketed to get us closer to what we want. I'm gonna include a clip in here. I just discovered clips yesterday, but I can't just like make them public. Like I can share them, but it's not just like a playlist of clips. So I'm gonna link the clip in the description box. And it was a couple, and they were talking about how like after last year, a lot of things shifted, and that like now they want to basically, long story short, work more consciously. And I was like, oof, same. As I enter the workforce, big same. Yeah. And it's like here we're convinced like to trade it all away. And it's like, and that's the thing about like be mindful of the company you keep. Don't allow a lack of appreciation for all of who you are to convince you that all of who you are isn't worthy of love and being seen and validated, right? That's how double energy gets in the space of the Three of Cups. Because the Three of Cups is like where we love and we accept everybody as they are. But it's this internal thing, maybe, that keeps us from being all of ourselves, that keeps us from receiving love and validation for those parts of us that we can't love. And again, it's like it invites in energies. It creates these wedges where it shouldn't exist. Like it shouldn't be there. Like you should be able to receive love. Life happens, and we're human. Life happens. We do our best, right? So it's not necessarily like. That's why I don't want to say like it's in a space where it shouldn't be. It's like it is, but it makes sense that it happened. Like it shouldn't happen like this. It did, and it makes sense how like this happened, right? Page of Wands, Knight, Five of Cups. I don't know. Is there any resolution on this? 1135. This is 15 and 13. 13 is death. 15 is the devil. For 13, we have the Queen of Pentacles. For 15, we have the Knight of Swords. I mean, it's like listen to yourself, listen to your internal truth, listen to your intuition, listen to the things that I think a lot of times like we'll get something that goes against common conception, and we kind of sort of like this. It reminds me of like when there's someone who doesn't view themselves as intelligent, or when there's someone who's like, oh, this person is smarter than me. And so when you ask them a question, it's like they go with what the smarter person says. But it's like in this case, the smarter person was wrong and you were right, but you didn't trust your rightness. So you ended up being wrong, type of energy. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands and the Ten of Wands. This is learning to carry that in a way. It's like when you reach that point in life where you're proud of everything that you've gone through, when you can find appreciation for like you still being here despite everything that has happened to you and has happened for you and is happening through you, because why not? It's like when you reach that point where you can accept yourself in your entirety and you begin walking that path, it puts you in the space of it's almost like it puts you in the space of what the divine put you on this earth to do in the first place. Like you weren't put here to be anybody that you're not. And I just saw, because I follow Tyra Banks on Instagram, and she shared that it's like shine bright, shine far, just be you, be a star type of, I don't know. It's all spirit, D. I'm just the vessel. What did she say? I'm a resource. Use me. But that's what this is. And it's like the queen inside of you was already like she's already established. This energy is going out and trying to find something. This feels like a taking energy though. Oh my gosh, look at this. So this is the 15 that came out. It's all like black and white, right? And there are some oranges over here. You know, let me see. There we go. There we go. Yeah, she's like, I'm a resource. Use me. So, and that's why this horse is like, what are you doing? Like, where are you having me go? Like she's sitting on top of this horse thinking like she really doing something, thinking that she's really about something. But the horse is like, girl, like, you know, we passed our destination like a long time ago, right? Like, so like at this point, and it reminds me a little bit. Thank you. I gravitated towards the black set a little more. But then I thought the black dice were like 25 cents and the orange ones were $1. But when I found out they were all $1, I was like, okay, well, I'll get two of each. But it reminds me of the poem by Robert Frost, whose woods these are. I think I know his house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. And then it's like my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Like that line, my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. It's like this horse is like why are we here? Like, what are we doing? Like, hello? But like on top of the horse, it's like, you know, we feel like, oh yeah, look at this sword. I could wreck you. It's like, okay. The horse is like, okay. Well, you're the one with the reins, so we're just gonna go where you want to go, I guess. But you know. And it's like this energy inside, again, it's already established. This is an energy that creates. This is an energy that has been convinced that it has to take. And again, with that 10 of Wands, it's about, that's why I say it's like the Hermit is necessary, is important, serves a purpose, a role, a function, as all energies do. But eventually, at some point, we should get to know the divine for ourselves in our own way. And that's, you know, why it came to me one time. It's like we take the lantern of the Hierophant into our own depths in the Hermit card. But eventually, it's like we need to trade out the Hierophant's lantern for our own light. And then from the space of our own light, we can go even deeper within ourselves. Right? Um, now that's stuck in my head. I'm a resource. Use me. Why is the spirit is probably like, I'm a resource. Use me. And I'm like, no, I'll figure it out. Like, I can do this. I can do that. I was like, okay. Yeah. Okay. Final card. Find narrative card. Oh. Ooh. Okay. I like this energy. Six of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. This is that Page of Pentacles again. I'm not using the Witch's Tarot, but the Page of Pentacles has learned what the Page of Pentacles needs to learn. Coincidentally, it's almost like though after the Page of Pentacles learns its lesson, the whole world like it's like, oh my gosh, we were in Starbucks and they had one of those. It's like when you go to the airport and they have those boards that like they flip and the letters change, but it looks like it's one of those boards where you like you pin the letters up. So it's like as you learn, as the Page of Pentacles learns whatever, as the Page of Pentacles accomplishes this leg of the race, it was like this. Oh, look, yeah. Here's the celebration. There's the medal. There's your prize. It's being presented to you by this barefoot elder. Interesting. But it's like as soon as you learn something, then everything changes. It's like what I was saying yesterday. I can't remember if it got cut off or not. But it's like or the day before, it's like when you are also a component in your spiritual life, in your life that has momentum, then it changes things, right? If you don't have any momentum and you're waiting for spirit to do everything for you, then it's like the path is a little bit more predictable. But if you also have momentum, so like if you're moving and spirit is moving, then it's this game of like connect and trying to get these two to meet in this space where things are just floating around, right? Rather than one energy just being stationary. And so, oh, come on, Brian. I just had it's that energy. What's at the bottom of the deck? Ooh, Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yes, please. I will take that abundance. If it resonates, I'm glad it can help. The thing that, yeah. So it's like as soon as this Page of Pentacles, because going back to the story of the Page of Pentacles with the tree and the shady old man, right? It's like she had that encounter, she had that experience to learn the value of herself, of the tree, to learn how it works, that those who are worthy of this can take it. And those who find it's like there are some who, instead of doing the work, they try to shortcut and whatever, right? And so it's like as soon as the Page of Pentacles learns this, it's almost like she's ready to go out and put it into motion. But since she's learned it, the world has already changed. So she's not going to encounter that Seven of Swords person again. That, and it feels like that can be the energy where we get stuck, right? It's like you can navigate, you can be in a space of like a karmic situation, we'll call it. Let's go back to the Lovers, the Eight of Cups, and the Devil card that came out earlier. You can be in the space of a karmic situation. So like, yeah, I know my worth now. I know my value. I know healthy boundaries. Like, I'm not going to do any of this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. But it's like, as soon as you learn it, as soon as you get it, as soon as you heal and integrate it, your reality changes. So you're not even encountering those energies anymore, but you're so eager to act out on everything that you've just experienced because you've been in whatever place you were in for as long as you were in there, that now you're projecting out these situations and scenarios in a space where it has no place. Going back to the Ten of Swords and the Devil, between the Three of Cups and Judgment, like the space should have changed. You should be meeting new people. You should be meeting energies that are more copacetic and harmonious with you, but you're carrying forward this, again, going back to that King of Wands who needs to have himself under control. You're carrying yourself in a way that you're like continuously projecting these issues that, like, without you projecting them, they would no longer exist. And that's kind of the space I've been talking about, where it's like I feel like I'm in this space where it's like were some of these things ever even like actual issues? And then again, at the same time, it's like, well, does it matter? And the answer is no, it doesn't matter, because things are now what they are now. But anyway, like that's what this is. It's like from the space of victory. And that's kind of like an ego thing, a little bit, a little bit. I think it's also just like a human thing, right? You learn something new, you want to use it. I'm not. I think sometimes like we can try to villainize and the ego so much that we project things onto the ego that maybe the ego isn't even like by default like responsible for, but it's like in our zealotry, right? That's the word I want. I think it's like we're overzealous and we're projecting things onto the ego that the ego, like the ego is like, what are you talking about? Your ego is that horse. Like, what are you going on about? Like, none of that is me. It's like it's this other ego. It's like there is the ego and then there's the projected ego. I don't know. Anyway, it's semantics at that point, maybe. Ten of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. I mean, spirits come through with the Ace of Pentacles, with the Knight of Pentacles that came out with the Messenger, Justice, and the World. Like, come through. And Ten of Pennies at the bottom of the deck. Like, what more do you want? But yeah, it's like, it's, it is, I feel like, just be mindful. Not everyone, and again, that's that energy of like, be, it's like be wary of the company you keep, but it's not exactly how they're a reflection of you. It's how those in your immediate environment leads you to create these grand judgments on the whole world and how everything has to be because of the select few that you've experienced. And it's like there's more than that. But as long as you continue to sort of like project that outward, it'll be your experience. But again, there's this energy that's like, you've done this, you know better. Like, you don't have to, like, you can leave this behind. And maybe it's a desire for comfort or for what we already know. I don't know. I don't know. It ain't me. It's different for all of us. Anyway, that's what I got. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. Emphasis on acting, emphasis on alignment, and I will. I hope I do the same. Edging God out in your Jupiter holiday voice. Jennifer holiday voice. I said Jupiter. I don't know why I read Jupiter. Yeah, it is D. It's just growth, and we get there. 4425. What's that? That's 8, 10, 15. There's the 15 again. Can't escape the number 15 today. I don't even know where I'm going to put these. I don't have another dice bag. I have so many dice. 6644. This is 20. That's judgment. Oh, one more. So we have the devil, judgment, 6645, and the world. 21. 10 and 11. That's interesting. The devil, judgment, and the world. Chew on that. No problem, D. I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna do a weekly release maybe tomorrow because I need to soak my feet anyway. Honestly. Honestly. I'm like, all that walking and moving without a lot of rest and all that sitting in cars ain't do my body not a lick of recovery good. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow maybe. It's good to be back. It's a little warm, but I'm glad to be back. And I'm honestly ready to like get so many different things in my life on track. I feel like I often hit these points where it's like it's time for me to be all of who I am. And then it's like I forget or something. So um yeah, I'm gonna do the cold water tomorrow. Or I could do it tonight and just record it. Or I could just do it tonight and not do it. I'll do it. I feel like I was gonna say something. Or I was saying something, but I forgot. It's fine. I don't know. I'm excited to be back. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one. Thanks, D. Thanks, Corinda. Bye.